Welcome to the Shield Podcast. Biddy, 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 biddy.
You're gonna get sued by Looney Tunes.
Welcome to the greatest BJJ podcast ever. We haven't done this in forever.
You had a yell in that
Yes,
Mike, as you
yes,
sat
we
down?
did. Hello. That's our hook.
Make sure you guys are awake.
Hello.
Sorry.
So yeah, today I don't know what episode we're on. We haven't done this in a while, but we're gonna dissect I thought a very interesting podcast by BJJ Mental Models. They interviewed Beatrice Jin and
Can you spell that?
Jinn.
Just one N.
Beatrice.
Oh, one N.
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
We're gonna spell it after the
B-E-A.
podcast.
Trice.
I was just seeing how smart he was.
I'm a genius, baby. Genius.
Well, let's dive in. So one of the first things that you talk about, but one of the things that she talked about is about a mean technique. Are there any mean techniques, or what is considered a mean technique or not?
Let me just just say what I thought about whenever I watched that whole episode or heard the whole episode. It's something that I echoed my whole jiu-jitsu kind of career. Like almost everything that they talked about in this was something that I said for years. So mean techniques, no. It's just the application of how you do the techniques. We know that some people are douchebags, and then for the longest time, people want to grab techniques and just rip on them.
Yeah.
And what do I say in class? Like most, the biggest offender of this mean technique is not the heel hook. It's not the wrist lock, even though there's a bunch of memes about it. It's the freaking armbar.
Yeah.
And I could tell you, I've gotten so many complaints from kids to adults that arm bars are ripped too fast and it has put people out.
But again, it's like what we talk about. I don't think they're mean techniques is because you don't know how to control an arm without hurting somebody, right? You cannot apply the same pressure that you apply in a competition in the mat room. There are different rules to apply it, and one of them is having control of the arm so they cannot get out and you can slowly finish it. See, I love arm bars. I love arm bars. And I haven't hurt anybody on purposely finishing arm bars. I haven't. And I put the disclaimer right now. Just one person, this person armbarred him or herself. I'm not going to explain which type of gender it was, but this person did it to itself.
No, I'm talking about when you armbarred me.
And the second time, this man kicked me in the face to not tap. So that's another conversation. But Matt, are there any mean
Let me tell
techniques?
you something. My arm
listen.
popped like 10 times, and she did not let go. She's still hipped in.
This man kicked me in the face and gave me a unicorn. Know what we're talking about? Matt, what do you think about this? Not my armbar.
You know she's mean, bro. You know it, man.
Oh, so are you, so I can't
Shut
say-
your mouth, man.
No.
Man, we can't pick me as the bad guy.
Too late.
She is. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think there is. Like you said, I mean, jiu-jitsu, of course, is all about control. And, there's always, if you, in a training room, if you settle it with your partner, like you discuss like, hey, I want to go full board, like, no, don't hold back kind of thing, like, and clear the air, that's fine. But it's like, if it's just regular training, there's no need to rip stuff. And it's, you're protecting yourself, like it's that person's job to protect themselves, the tap, but at the same time you got to kind of protect them too. And cause there's moves that feel dirty, but I still hit them. But I always, like the cross collar, like when I drag that elbow across, I always, I'm usually up on mountain. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I do it anyway. So,
But I love that you said that about communication, because that's something else was discussed in the podcast. Communicate with your partner. Talk to your partner. Hey, I have this injury. Hey, we can go hard. Hey, we can go 100%. We can go 50%. Have this communication.
Yeah.
Because then there is no room for miscommunication or misunderstanding as this person is aggressive, this person is mean, this person yada yada yada.
And I would say too, out of all of them, like you said, like armbar is the most good because you can hit it in so many different areas. Like that one can be shaky because if someone posts and you hop on top of their arm and belly down, like do it properly, you can still it's still.
I mean, it's
dangerous,
super fast, you know.
Exactly, and you not meaning to do it, and it's still fast. Like you still be trying to do it slow, but at the same time you got to hit that kind of certain ones fast. So it's
It's a gray area.
Yeah.
But if you don't have control and if you cannot like dominate the position and cook them there, put it that way, you don't have it. Therefore, you don't.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't know what you're doing.
You know what? I just thought of something. Devil's advocate here. The smother choke, the muffler. You know, where people like pinch the nose, cover the mouth. It's kind of gross, to be honest.
But it's not mean. It's dirty.
Dirty, mean. I mean, it's kind of
same as mother's milk.
You'll definitely lose some friends over that for sure.
I mean, there's some submissions or positions I will say that it's gonna give you enemies.
Yeah, well, no, that's my pushback with maybe just a little pushback with that because there are, I think, just a couple like mean techniques, but it's like kind of the unsaid rule in jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna can opener you. I'm not gonna put my my hand over your mouth.
Throat,
But now it's just kind of getting a little bit more popular because of Wagner Rocha.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind when people do that, but I could see that other people having an issue with that.
Yeah, if you're young in jiu-jitsu, you still haven't learned quite a bit of everything. If someone throws it on you, you're gonna panic, and that's dirty. But guys like us have been doing it for a while. Like we all know, like if someone does it, we're like, we kind of laugh it off. Like,
Well, you can laugh it out, but I'm like, let me finish you.
Hey, let me say it like this. There are techniques that I as a professor, I see that trigger people. Like, it's not even a submission. Like, if you're a bimbo, and start throwing elbows in people's throats in close guard, come on. Come on, man. Like, but that's mostly a white belt thing. So it's your job as the upper belt, if you're the upper belt, to kindly tell them or armbar them or, take care of that situation.
Yeah. Or you let the mat enforcer do something.
Yeah.
You need to be the mat enforcer in that situation.
No, we've had that situation here a couple times. So.
Well, but it's ignorancy, right?
Yeah.
They don't know any better. So it's our job as a hard belts to not be like a-holes on, you just have to tell them because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
But if they do,
well, and also on top of that, like you can't be, no, I take that back, rewind, is that sometimes the beginner white belts, they fall back on something like that because they don't have a lot in their tool bag. So even if you tell them, and some of them might still do it because they're like, well, what do I do to get out of close guard?
And some of it's habit too. It's like you said, being a white belt, you don't know much, and so you go to your natural habits instead of your jiu-jitsu natural habits. So
so skirt, pretty much on the same topic, right? But the other side, right? What about higher belts that are stuck in a submission by a lower belt? Let's say a white belt has an armbar, about to finish it. And this person, the higher belt, instead of tapping, they just instruct the white belt how to finish the submission and then be like, good job, buddy, you got it. Like an ego situation of, I'm not going to tap to this person, I'm going to tell them that they need to do this.
I don't think
instead.
anyone literally here has
Not here, but it had happened to me before.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I know it happens, but
it's like, okay, I finished this ankle lock. The guy was like, oh, that's great, whatever. But you could have like, do not mind explain me. You tap, we're done. That's it. I don't need your instruction. I did it right. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Or that lady.
Yeah.
Just don't.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah. Like if it's like a lower belt, like I'll let them, I'll let them finish and tap and, I'll help clean it up. But it's like, that's kind of different. Like,
But But do you help it clean it up before they finish or after?
No,
there
after.
you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's and it may not be like 100% like worthy of a tap, but it's like, okay, this is close enough. Now let's go clean this up, kind of thing.
Yeah. Just give the tap, and if they ask, hey,
Yeah.
can I have done anything better? There is a room for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's or you just don't give them a tap and you get out of it, and then and like I kind of sometimes I'll make it like a game depending on who I'm rolling with. Like they'll get me in a certain thing, be close, but then I'll get out of it, and I'll get to a certain position. I'll be like, you gotta do better than that, and like as a joke, and they know I'm joking too. So because we sit there and both laugh about it, and then after the roll, I'm like, let me show you how to like what you were missing, and so it's it's never belittling them. It's always trying to make them better.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's a good point.
Side note for those that are just listening, because I'm gonna try to put this on Spotify. That little buzzing sound is our little air freshener sound. So when you guys heard the last one, yeah, that's the thing to keep our gym smelling fresh.
Well, at least our lobby.
Yeah.
Our lobby. Yeah.
Well, end of the commercial. Next topic. Coaches' expectations.
My expectations for you to roll, not talk, train.
That's not what she's talking about.
That do you have an expectation as a coach?
I really.
There you go.
I meant like no. I mean everyone's journey is a little bit different.
No, but yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Disclaimer.
I mean, it really
Yes, no means yes.
It depends on who you are in the gym. I don't look at certain people the same way I look at you, the same way I look at Brian, Brandon, Joel.
You don't look at me.
No, I'm serious. Like I'm Matt.
Don't.
Don't. We can't do this in this podcast, Matt.
Okay, Matt. You have coached people, coach kids, but in the perspective also as a student, like what are your thoughts in that topic?
Expectations on how they roll, or like
I don't know, pick one. Are you a student or the coach?
no.
You better think of me as your daddy, bro. I'm just kidding. I only bring that up because if you look on the Instagram for Show Your Roll, some blue belt called and said, "I look at my professor as my daddy." Excuse you.
No. Okay, listen. From my perspective as a student,
You never got to my point. Okay, let's go.
When our
Let's go,
perspective,
Matt.
let me
After
go.
Pal.
Yeah,
Pal
thank you.
jump in.
What a gentleman. Thank you very much. My perspective as a student is like, if you're competing, I don't compete much, but when I do, you do have the expectation of not failing your coach, right?
Yeah.
And regardless if you put the expectation or not, it's in the back of your head. So in the back of my head, if you don't do well, it's like, oh, I'm failing my coach.
Yeah.
If you do good, he will be proud. Regardless if that's not what he thinks or he really doesn't care, that's in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So you do think your coach has an expectation of you. So I train hard and I have to tell my coach I'm showing up because I feel like my coach has an expectation of me. Go and train, show up, put the time.
Yeah, I mean, as a student, definitely there's it's always going to be in your head, but it's like I feel like I'm kind of on this journey of like having expectations of myself of not like having certain outcomes as defining that expectation. It's like I definitely want to feel good during the roll, during whenever I train or whatnot. It's not always going to be you don't always feel like you do good, but you do. But it's kind of just learning to just I guess more I'm trying to turn into the expectation of what am I learning, what am I executing well today, what am I I think like last night I was trying to really heavy focus more on the X guard and trying to get into it and just really focus on that, and then I ended up feeling like I rolled pretty well, but my main goal and expectation wasn't I just want to feel good when I roll, but I wanted to work on a certain thing. So that was kind of like my expectation last night.
But as a student, do you feel like your coach has an expectation of you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always going to be that expectation. Like you said, there's... but
If you guys don't know, I'm just looking at Matt. You better say yeah.
But at the same time, you can't let that hover over you. Like, there's always going to be an expectation. Like you said, like different people, like we have our hobbyists, There may be this idea like, okay, this is how we want them to roll. But, at the same time, their expectation, their goals too are going to be different. Unless you sit down and talk to them what their goals are, there's going to be like a different level of their expectations. So it's like if they're just in here to lose weight, just to do something fun, learn a martial art, they're just going to be in here and kind of have smaller goals and expectations for themselves. So
I do feel like us, like the three of us, is like coaching the adults, put it that way.
Yeah.
The expectation, honestly, there's always going to be an expectation regardless, but it's very low in the sense of like, we don't expect you to day one learn absolutely everything and be amazing. Our expectation is show up, put time, put the work, and grow. I think that's the bottom line expectation, because it is always going to be an expectation.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a good, solid, basic foundation to have. Just like if that's what you do, like in general, fantastic. But then if you want to build more, there's actually going to be more expectations. But
Okay.
yeah.
Something else to say about that topic?
Nope.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, don't you forget my name.
I'm not gonna say it. Okay, next one. Talking during rolls.
Man, this is easy.
Don't.
Yeah, no, it's really that simple. Look, you might think it's like some cultish kind of crap, but look, some people work all day and they look forward to the roll. Okay?
Yeah.
Look, I don't mind like, yo, bro, that was a cool tap, and you keep on going. But asking them, well, how did you do that? Can you tell me how to do this?
Okay, but you're fitting that in a whole situation of talking during rolls. Like we talk about in general.
No.
Like
No. There's level.
Yeah,
No.
forget it.
No.
Yeah.
Like the only time I would really say that's okay is like when we did our disco night. Like that's kind of like a little different. That's a different setting. Like we're kind of more having fun. We're rolling but still having fun. But it's when we're in here to work and put in the work, like
Yeah, but
like open mat. Yeah, don't really talk unless they're technically open mat like you said in the past. It's like drilling, whatever, rolling, but no wall sitting. But if you have a question like work through a drilling thing, that's kind of different. But
I mean, like, I can already feel the hate coming on because not every school is like that. But you got to think, like, I came from a very like traditional martial arts background, and like everyone was very focused. And then when it was time to train, it was time to train. And like, look, I know that some people are like, oh well, I paid to do X, Y, and Z, but you're also coming into the coach's house too. That's his house, his rules, and like some people don't understand like that perspective of things too. And also, not everyone that you're talking to wants to explain how they got that sweep, how they got the armbar, how they got the triangle, because you know what? That's the last thing that the person wants to do is like sit there. I can see it from like a coach's perspective, right? I don't mind doing that because I know like this is like my job. I get to train more and more.
Yeah.
But this is the only time this one person gets to train. And then you're taking away 2-3 minutes out of a 6-minute roll to explain this. Stop being selfish. Just roll. Keep your keep the questions to at the end of the class.
I do want to add to that. Like, I totally agree with that. I don't have an issue when you're, let's say, making jokes and laughing and enjoying your role at the same time as working. Like, do that. That's fine, but that's not what we mean. What we mean is like stopping your 6-minute roll to have a conversation with somebody about their day, about how hot it is, or about a technique. Not in the 6-minute roll because you're stealing that time from your partner.
Yeah, because it's like for me, if I'm rolling, a lot of times if I'm rolling, like I'm in the rolling mindset, And then if you stop and ask me to explain something, I switch to teaching, and it's hard for me to switch back. Sometimes.
Yeah, but it's okay to laugh. It's okay to throw jokes.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
okay to enjoy your role while you rolling.
Yeah.
But don't stop to tie your belt,
Yeah.
to like F around.
Yeah.
None of that. That's what we mean by talking during rolls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of like this tangent, man. I was like, yeah, you know, like that was cool, man, cool tap or cool submission. I don't know, you know, like I need more coffee, but that's what I mean. Is that, you know, like those quick, like, all right, oh, that was awesome, you know.
Slap and bump and go again.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
again. And you know what, like. Also, don't be that person that like starts the middle of the roll and stops. They're like, hold up, let me catch my breath. If you come to that point in your roll, just drill. Like, just do some static drilling, get your heart rate down.
But
and
before that, remember, have that communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I can't do it no more. Okay, let's drill.
Drill.
But
Yeah.
don't stop.
Yeah. Or you know, I think a lot of times like I'll run into
we
something
need
like
to see
that.
how much time we got. Sorry, fellas. What's the time?
21.
Oh no, we could go another 9 more minutes.
Okay.
So we need to wrap this up.
I'll
Yeah.
make this quick. Yeah, a lot of times like you can kind of notice, or someone will be like, I'm tired. Like, okay, just give me a flow roll. Like you just
Just keep going.
just give me some movement. That's all I need. You don't have to go hard. Just flow.
But you know, like some people don't have that like discernment, you know. And you know, like you as the upper belt also need. Oh, well, it doesn't matter upper belt or not. You know,
Yeah.
you just gotta kind of be able to read body language. You know,
Yeah.
because sometimes people are too embarrassed to communicate that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Or just too tired.
Yeah. So
But-
you need to be the bigger person and just say, hey, let's just static.
And have bottom line, communicate. But before we wrap it up, what's the fun fact of the day?
Yeah.
Mighty Atom. The atomic Mighty Atom. I forgot the guy's name.
Yes.
Yes. Some dude. I think it's from someone from outside. He took a bullet to the head because some guy tried to woo for his try to get his girlfriend
Yeah.
or his wife at the time. So he was like, you know what? You don't deserve that lady. I'm gonna shoot you. He shoots him right in the forehead, bro.
This man does not get excited about nothing that we
Dude,
talk about till
yo,
this point.
No, the bullet ricocheted off his head. Look him up. Actually, let's Google it right now.
No, we're not.
we
We
don't
don't
have
have
time.
enough time.
No, just I
You
want to make
look
sure.
it
No,
up.
I want to make sure that I'm giving the people the right thing. The Mighty Atom,
How
the
about
atomic Mighty
You
Atom.
people, you Google.
Yes.
Mighty
Yes.
Atom.
No, the
And if
Mighty
it's
Atom.
wrong, just
Hey,
put
yo,
it in the
He
comments.
pulled a whole airplane with his hair, with his freaking hair. Can you imagine that? He bent horseshoes like it was nothing, and he bit a stack of quarters with his teeth, bro. You talk about someone that's amazing, someone that gets me excited, that makes me want to live the next day.
That's who Johnny calls daddy.
You're darn right.
Well,
You
thank you
know-
for listening.
And
See you soon.
like, comment, subscribe, but comment something. And yeah,
Oh, my hand.
oh my goodness.
Oh.
Bye. We need intro music.
Oh yeah, the intro music.
Lord.
That's it. We don't have to worry about copyright issues now.